Hi, I'm Slack, this is Tony, and welcome to SmogVlog. Today we're going to be chatting some crap about vaping and going through the vaping news.
Okay guys, so first up for you is the local news in America, for our American cousins out there. A lady out there has been awarded nearly $2 million for having an e-cigarette explode all over her.
Yeah, okay, it's not really the e-cigarette itself, it was while it was charging. She plugged it in a charge and it apparently squirted hot molten metal all over her, setting her clothes on fire. She's been left with second degree burns on her arse and leg. Arse is your buttocks if you're, for America, or ass, I think you guys say. But
Fanny.
yeah, that means vagina.
No, not in America.
I know, it's weird. A fanny.
All over her fanny.
I never got that. You have a fanny pack in America, and in England that just means you're carrying stuff in your vag. It's a bit weird.
The real question is, what's she doing with an e-cigarette up her fanny?
This isn't funny. She was, but so yeah, she was awarded nearly $2 million because she did get quite badly burned. Her husband had to launch a cold coffee at her to put her out. Which, if she wasn't badly burned, that would be pretty funny. But she was, so I'm straight face for this one. The seller of the item is basically taking the blame for this because they should be selling items that are safe for sale. Now, that's quite a tough one, really, because yes, there should be certain safety regulations that are obeyed. Certainly in England and in America, we have that.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff comes out of China. It's all out of China. It's all just whatever, and the safety is sort of left to you to make sure, really. So in some respects it's good that there's going to be some sort of regulation, but like it doesn't too much with this Article 20 and start choking everything beyond the point of being able to make new stuff, design new stuff. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it doesn't really affect the Article 20 at the minute because that's already been gone through.
No, it doesn't affect it, but that's what I'm saying. It's bringing, with Article 20 comes, more lockdown and regulation, which will hopefully put an end to stuff like this. But what we want is that it puts an end to this dodgy stuff and you have a standard. But we don't want to see the prices massively skyrocketing, and we don't want to see innovation being stifled by this.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
So, it's catch-22, but it's pretty tough for a distributor when they might have sold thousands of these devices, and they've all been fine, and one dodgy battery. Now, a couple of my friends used to live in a flat. The flat over the way from them set on fire, and that was from a dodgy alarm clock. Right, this dodgy alarm clock. Now, when I search for alarm clocks on Google, one of the top results is not alarm clock sets fire to house, alarm clocks are bad for you. This is yet another example where people are jumping on e-cigarettes are bad, e-cigarettes are bad. Yeah, it was an e-cigarette, but it was a battery charging. That's all it was. You can buy cheap knockoff batteries in China, and, the 18650 batteries that we all use in our mods, not this one, but yeah, they're commonly used in torches and stuff, and the same chargers we use for our e-cigarette batteries are used in torches. But when there's been problems with these batteries, you don't really see the same level of witch hunting going on in the media. So yeah, it's a shit story. It's a sad story. I feel bad for the woman, but at the same time, this is a bit, e-cigarettes are evil. It's still coming across from that side of things. So yeah. Could be better.
No, but again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Was she using the right charger for it? Because there was that thing that happened in the UK with that barmaid where she was charging up an e-cigarette behind the bar and it exploded. Luckily, she wasn't really too near it, but she was using the wrong fucking charger for the e-cigarette and it just fucking went off.
Yeah, it's one of the things I really love about the H-cigar. And the DNA 200, it's got this intelligent charger, so you can charge it from anything. I think from memory it was from 0.5 amps up to 20 amps, 21 amps, something like that. It's big anyway, it's huge range. So whether you're plugging, you know, your Kindle charger in or like some tablet charger or something, you know, something with a bit more grunt, it's going to work and it's going to be okay. Whereas your little ego twist and go shits, you know, they're not. They're just, you've got to, if it says charge with 1 amp, charge with 1 amp. Do not charge with less. Do not charge with more. Do not collect £200. Go straight to jail. Oh no, like wrong thing. But yeah,
the trouble there is that it is down to the user to make sure that they know what they're using it with. It just all arcs back to battery safety, which is...
Oh, you can't talk about battery safety.
Fuck off.
Fucking cowboy.
Has my house burnt down yet? No.
I don't know. Have you checked in the last hour?
I haven't, no.
So, you know, who knows? Next week could be very different. Tony could be living on this sofa, talking about his burnt down house and actually taking battery safety that little bit more seriously. But, you know.
Okay, next up we've got a more local story in Peterborough in the UK. A scientists at a firm there are going to be tackling e-cigarette safety.
Yeah, so L Science are going to be trying to create a gold standard for eJuice, basically. That they already take and analyse eJuice, and their aim is to sort of make it as safe and transparent as possible as to what goes into it. Already a number of companies use these guys to sort of, you know, tackle eJuice safety, make sure, you know, diacetyl hasn't sort of snuck into the mix and stuff like that. I think it's a really good thing. However, come next May, this sort of thing is probably going to be mandatory. So, you know, it's good that the process is getting going now. From our point of view, it's good to be able to know what goes in there, and it's good that it's starting. You know, it's really sort of ramping up early. So if it becomes mandatory in May, there's not a sudden chaos of, well, how do we do this? They're already, you know, on the ball there. Obviously, they're in it for the money as well. You know, they're going to be paid to analyse this stuff, and that's fine. You know, someone needs to do it, and like I say, it's good that they're actually already on it already.
Yeah, it's like Slack said earlier, it's going to be good for weeding out the diacetyl and nasty shit in the e-liquid, but it'll also be good for weeding out sort of like the cheap Hong Kong imports.
Yeah, I'd quite like to find out how much they cost to actually do this analysis and just buy some cheap shit from China and just see what's really in it, you know, pigeon shit and food colouring and stuff, you know.
Extra jizz.
The cream of some young guy. Yeah. So next up is just a really quick one. Saw a quite comedy article in the last week or so. This guy in America, he was concerned, you know, that his e-cigarette was overheating, and then basically it seemed like it was pre-firing. And he was like, "Oh, I was driving along, and I could smell grape," you know, the thing. And yeah, my e-cigarette battery was really hot to touch. So I fiddled about with it, and it started cooling down. Left it alone, and then I started smelling grape again. Yeah, it's a faulty device that you can tell is pre-firing, at which point you would surely take your tank off, leave it, you know, maybe not somewhere where it could blow up and kill you. Basic safety. Again, this is another sensationalist story. Okay, this is a small news outlet, but a sensationalist story because it's about e-cigarettes. But when like, a camcorder has this problem, or you know, a laptop or something, you know, it doesn't make the news. But because it's an e-cigarette, it makes the news. I'm not going to give this too much time because it's bit stupid, but yeah, battery safety, Tony. Battery safety.
Yeah, bullshit. Okay, guys, what vlog would be complete without the next sensationalist bullshit news?
Have we not had enough of that already?
I think we have, but apparently there's more.
Yeah, definitely. So the Ecumenical News, I think that's what they're named. They're basically, if God ran Lycos's Angel Fire web hosting thing, basically it's that. And yeah, apparently God hates e-cigarettes. He hates e-cigarette users. He also hates metlers and gays, and probably kittens at a guess. Maybe. Anyway, no. The gist of the story is that they've seen various news reports, yeah, that say that e-cigarettes are bad for you. So they've decided that God thinks they're bad for you, and you should totally not touch them. You know, don't spend your money on e-cigarettes. Spend it on God. Yeah, I mean, it's crap. If you read through the article or even just the highlights, they just cherry pick the bits they want to make a story they want. Now, it's kind of interesting actually that the whole, they're talking about the cancer causing compounds within e-liquid and e-cigarettes. Now, Tony sent me a link earlier in the week to a couple of news articles, and while they're really old, it does sort of, it's interesting to see the evolution of this cancer-causing compounds in e-cigarettes. So, going back to maybe the start of the year, there was an article, or maybe last year, anyway, a while back. It was saying that how, look, we've noticed that there's cancer-causing compounds, potentially if you overheat your e-liquid and stuff. What they're saying is it's not too bad. There are some there, and this was quite an anti-e-cigarette article, but it's saying it may be as much as 1% of the equivalent of actual smoking. Now, after that, we've had reports say, hang on, we've done tests and there aren't any. And then after that, we've had reports saying that e-cigarettes are 10 times worse, admittedly with no real evidence. So it's like the evolution of bullshit, really. You see how it goes. And so if you go through all of this, you can cherry pick something to make it suit your needs, The one thing that I always sort of feel about things is how believable is it? How much is someone championing something? If the media just get on something and they say that something is bad for you but don't really give you any evidence, I don't really credit that with too much. However, the one that looked really good for e-cigarettes was actually funded by British American Tobacco, who would be dead against e-cigarettes. So to me, that sort of speaks a fair amount compared to someone who is already against e-cigarettes saying that, we found e-cigarettes are bad. Not going to tell you how, but, obviously it's still early days. There are more tests coming, and that's a good thing, really. Let's see what it's got, because if this is really bad, I would give it up. I hope it's not, because I love it. But, until we know, we can only go with what we do know, and what we do know is I don't suffer all of the problems I used to when I smoked cigarettes, tight lungs and all that sort of stuff. I don't even have the real same sort of cravings for it. I love doing it, but I can go without quite easily. So,
as proven with Facebook, if you follow us on Facebook,
Twitter
or any of those.
Yeah.
Whereby, one day last week he
forgot to take a set up to work. Took loads of fucking eJuice because one of the other guys there's into vaping and that, and swapping eJuice and stuff. And I completely forgot to take my set up, left it at home. And at first I was like a bit disappointed. Oh shit! And I thought, wait a minute, I could totally MacGyver it. I've got fuse wire. I could build something. I'm like, I don't need to do it. I mean, necessity is the mother of invention. However, I was like, don't be that desperate, because I'm not. And I was absolutely fine all day, and I didn't even vape as soon as I got in. It wasn't like I ran in, grabbed it. I waited until actually Tony came round to do some filming that evening. I going out, walked the dog and stuff before I even had my first vape of the day. So, it was fine. It was fine.
Who in the audience thinks that Slack's not a real vapor now?
What?
Me.
What, just because I can deal with it? Yeah, some people say. I mean, some days I've literally got through over 20 mil of eJuice. Going back a year or two, I wouldn't have believed that possible, for my usage. But we're going through reviewing some of these things, particularly C Fiber, who's a thirsty little boy. I was filling him up constantly. I almost sort of, twice when I was going out for a break, one point. Okay, it was empty, and then I didn't empty it again. But to actually go through the filling process twice on one sort of quick smoke break is quite crazy. But at the same time, go without it for a day, no worries. I've always said it's just like tea. I freaking love tea, but I could live without it. Why?
Okay guys, and lastly on the docket for this week's vlog is the inclusion of e-cigarettes in the Research and Markets 2015 edition report.
So the company Research and Markets have released their Global E-Cigarette 2015 Research Report. So that'll do. What this means is that, you know, e-cigarettes as an industry is sort of being taken seriously and actually being studied, like you do in all other sectors of sort of e-commerce and, you know, just business in general. You know, companies are studied, what their strategies are. And it's really cool that e-cigarettes are actually getting on board. It's being recognised as a serious business commodity, you know, with serious players in the game. So for me and you, it doesn't really mean a lot. But for the other e-cigarette manufacturers out there, this is going to help them sort of work out what works, what doesn't work. And will hopefully for us mean better shit in the future.
Although that being said, I don't know how this interacts with the likes of Europe's Tobacco Products Directive that's going to be looking like it's probably going to be coming in next year.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know yet. We don't know.
We don't. We're waiting for December 17th, I think, for a final verdict from the court that Totally Wicked had. I've also been hearing there's 3 other challenges to the ruling that are also going to be going to courts as well. So we'll find information on those other ones and link you up in the description down below for where you can sign those petitions, because, you know, more people help.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it's across different petitions or whatever, it all sort of like goes towards the same sort of thing. But the interesting thing about this article is that e-cigarettes has been included in volumetric numbers, so they're not actually studying the companies themselves, they're just studying how much of an impact this has on other industries. So like rice, grain, water, facilities, they all get measured. They're doing the same now for e-cigarettes to say, well, it actually accounts for this much of the pie. Now, you know, e-cigarettes are suffering around the fucking world, really. Australia is pretty much fucked. Europe is pretty much going the same way. Parts of America, you've got no chance. I mean, they're serious markets right there.
Yeah, California especially is such a big, you know, e-cigarette presence in California. That's where a lot of the sort of like creative people have been that sort of started the movement, you know. And
with the likes of that happening, then they're saying, oh, now we're starting measuring it. Well, you know, it looks like you're a bit fucking late to the party, because we're all going to get screwed over. So you're going to be measuring half a fucking bugger.
Yeah, so while we don't know what the TPD is going to mean for UK and Europe, and there's plenty of other stuff going on around the world, it's really good that there's like business reports that should help sort of spearhead growth within the e-cigarette industry. You know, we've got to look at this as a positive thing. So,
yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up the news for this vlog. On to, I suppose, product updates. What have we had? We had Goblin Mini to start with. You've been rocking that since. How are you getting on with it? Still loving it?
Still loving it. It's still performing like an absolute trooper. Like I said in the review, if you haven't seen it, check wherever the reviews are that we put up. Yeah, no, like I said in the review, it performs like a much larger RTA. It's just the whole wicking process. Had a bit of a conversation with Devilish Mode. Hi, Devilish Mode, about the old wicking process. Dude, I'm sorry I forgot to link you up with the video. I was not having a good day that day.
You've seen our levels of incompetence, hence the bit at the end of the video, you know?
Yeah. But no, it's a lovely little tank. I'll be uploading a couple of pictures on Instagram of it loaded on the C-Fibre and eJuice 2, and we'll have a little vote and see who wears it best.
Well, I already know my answer, having seen both, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other people think. Yeah, Devilish Mode's build as well, that looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And the other product review that we put up was for C-Fibre, so...
Yeah, loving it. It's bigger than the eJuice 2, but it's more powerful as well with the 0.2 ohm core. I mean, we've also done another video after the C-Fibre review of a comparison between the two. It's not up yet, but it'll be up any day, so I won't go into it too much. But yeah, I really love it. It's a flashy little device. So yeah, great. And last up is our Ninja Vape video for stealth vaping, because if not everyone is like us and quite happy to blow massive clouds everywhere, you know. It was quite fun doing, quite an amazing product we reviewed. You could tell it was amazing because when we were actually using it, like we were both being taken by surprise. You're like, what's happening? If you haven't seen it yet, and it's something interests you, vaping in public, sort of, you want a low cloud production, check it out. It's probably not for most sort of seasoned vapors like us, but there's certainly going to be a huge interest about people who smoke in pubs where they allow it, and people who want to do the sneaky smoking in the cinema. And vaping. Yeah, it's the same shit.
No, it's not. I'm going to pull you up on this. There has to be a distinction between the two, otherwise we keep getting lumped in with fucking smokers.
Yeah, that's true.
And we don't want that.
No, it's true, but it's...
Also, going back to the Ninja vaping article, there might be a time in your life when you'll find that Ninja vaping is actually necessary. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but... It's always,
in a cinema.
It's always useful, yeah.
You know, if you're going to go see the Lord of the Rings marathon or something, you know, you're a heavy smoker / vapor, you know, this is like something that I'd consider. You know, ordinarily I wouldn't go into the cinema and blow clouds, but if you go being there a long time and you are someone who needs this, unlike me, then yeah, definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Okay, upcoming reviews. What have we got?
So first up for me is certainly the Easy Dripper. It's designed so you can fill up your dripper when you're in the car. So far liking it, but check out the review coming soon.
We've got other potential sort of things coming as well, but I wanted to pose a question to you guys whether you want to see a review of the eLeaf 60 watt TC. I wasn't sure about getting it or not.
Yeah, I saw it and I was wondering, like, it's quite good, 60 watt. It's like, but having got a 200 watt TC module that's going to be not much bigger than it, it's like, would I want that? But it depends. Would people want that?
It's only a single 18650 as well. I don't know. I'm posing it to you guys. If you want to see a review for it, drop us a like, leave us a comment, whatever. Yeah,
let us know. But yeah, at the moment, waiting on the postman, this fucking killer. I ordered some stuff from some websites and they said they were in stock. And then you like get the email, oh yeah, buy it in stock. It should be in a couple of fucking weeks. But yeah, we'll see how that goes because you know how we always link up the companies we get stuff from. If we get a bad experience, I will say that. Generally, I've had some good experiences. I had a really good experience, actually, with VaporBeast. I had some problems with an order I had with them. They sorted it out like absolute bosses, so I love VaporBeast at the moment. They're brilliant. Not sponsored, just love them.
Yeah, we're not being paid by them.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah. When you get a good experience, you know, you like to share it. It tends to be reviews. Unless someone just routinely does reviews, you know, of like shopping experiences, you'll find all reviews are 5-star or 1-star because they either want to reach out and say this was amazing, well done, or this was fucking awful, it went horrible, avoid them. And that's kind of with us as well. So yeah, fingers crossed for Swifty postage, really.
Speaking of postmen, I've got a bit of a weird relationship with mine. How about yours?
We don't have sex.
No?
No.
Okay, it's just me then.
Yeah, apparently so.
I do feel like sometimes I'm chasing him down the street, even if it is only with my mind.
Yeah, I've got a dog, so I just let my dog do that, really.
See, I don't. But when he walks past my property, I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's exciting times. On the 12th of October, we'll be celebrating our 2-month birthday. So it's been pretty cool. We've topped 8,000 views already, which, considering we've not really been doing any sort of pushing of the reviews, just put them up there and let people find them through the products and that. You know, we're getting quite a few subscribers, some really awesome people in the comments section, and yeah, it's brilliant. Really enjoying it. So yeah, here's to many more months of that.
Thank you all.
Hopefully the TPD won't kill this, because maybe by next year it'll be illegal to review e-cigarette stuff on YouTube. So who knows? But for now, I'm loving this shit.
Okay guys, that's it from us. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good shit. Leave us a comment down below. Watch our other many fantastic videos that we do. We're trying to be more social, as always. So, leave us a comment, ask us questions, maybe what we've got on order. We might tell you,
Yeah.
maybe.
Similarly, whatever you've got on order, what you're most excited about. I'm really disappointed. I was really looking forward to Snow Wolf 2. That was going to be landing next month. So I was like having kittens about that. But they've put that back to next year now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I've got to buy something else instead now. So, yeah. Let us know what you're after. Your shopping list.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it from us, guys.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. You try it every time. Every time.
Yeah, sure, why not? Remember, look there, not there.
Got to look there. You remember?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Do you want to start that again? Your throat did it.
It did, didn't it?
It's like you swallowed a Wookiee.
little tiny Wookiee.
A Wookette. So I'll take over with that then, shall I?
Oh, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go on then.
Tough. You do it.
There we go.
Teach you a lesson.
Ready? Stop looking at that. Look at the camera. There we go. Yeah. Don't look at them. Homo. Selfo. Okay, so that's the news out the way. When Tony's finished touching himself.
I had, but if you want more...
You have to pay. It's a subscription service.
Yeah.
Check the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I said too many times.
We got other there. It's like a monkey in a mirror.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't get my other eyebrow to move. It's like I had Botox or something. I don't recall that one. I don't recall having had Botox.
I'm not in the mood for laughing. Ooh, mirror!
Yeah, well...